This is the way.
In Season 2 of The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, aka Mando, and his little Force-sensitive companion make their way to the planet Corvus. Here, they encounter fan-favorite Jedi hero Ahsoka Tano, the former apprentice of the infamous Anakin Skywalker. She provides many answers about their journey, including the true name of the child, Grogu.
Grogu?
But there's more. Ahsoka instructs the duo to go to the planet Tython, where Grogu may be able to use the Force to call out to a master who is prepared to train him. To the average Star Wars viewer, the name Tython doesn't ring any bells. But to those familiar with expanded universe lore, the ancient planet of the Jedi means so much more. While most of the stories that fleshed out Tython's history have been uncanonized by Disney, the Mandalorian showrunners Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have been actively recanonizing material from the old Legends continuity. These old pieces of lore could still have their influence on the current Star Wars universe. So have a seat, younglings, as we share with you the history and significance of this ancient planet. The history of the planet Tython, according to Legends canon. Near the very center of the galaxy far, far away lies the Deep Core, a cluster of planets that neighbor famous locations from the movies such as Coruscant and Corellia. The Deep Core is dense and difficult to navigate, yet in ancient times, ships arrived and landed on the planet Tython. This species was the Gree, one of the first known species to achieve interstellar travel. However, when they arrived, they discovered an abandoned city. The former inhabitants' identities remain unknown, as well as the reason for their disappearance. According to history, the Gree occupied the planet for some time, but eventually abandoned it. Later texts revealed that Tython was seething with Force energy, and it was difficult to survive on the planet without control of the mystical energy. It is possible the Gree fled for this reason, as well as the subsequent species Qua, who inhabited the planet next. The Qua colony didn't last long on Tython, perhaps for similar reasons to the Gree. It didn't help that their species was also engaged in a war with the technologically advanced Rakata. After these short-lived colonizations, new visitors arrived via the Tho Yor, giant pyramid-shaped vessels containing pilgrims from many different species. Unlike the failed civilizations before them, these Force-sensitive pilgrims thrived and built sustainable settlements across the planet. These settlers founded the Jedi Order, a precursor to the Jedi we know today. Only the Jedi studied the ways of the light and dark sides, believing that a balance between the two was necessary. Their belief system was in part inspired by Tython's two moons, one covered in blazing light, the other shrouded in darkness. During this time, the Jedi erected 9 temples, each specializing in a different aspect of the Force. An apprentice, or a Jedi journeyer, could become a master, or a Jedi ranger, by training at all 9 temples. Eventually, the few Tythons who were not sensitive to the Force left Tython for nearby star systems, leaving the planet completely inhabited by Force users. Peace would not last forever, for as the years went on, the polarization of the two sides of the Force grew, resulting in a civil war triggered by the arrival of Force-sensitive warriors known as Force Hounds. The Hounds were servants of the Rakata, who then invaded Tython, forcing the Jedi to produce weapons and defend themselves against this threat. The Jedi succeeded in repelling the Rakata, but the conflict revealed irreparable differences between the light and dark, and the Force Wars began. After 10 years of war, the light side won and re-established themselves as Jedi, who left the planet to spread the teachings of the light across the galaxy. These were the first Jedi Knights. The Jedi established a new temple on the planet Ossus, and then bounced to Coruscant, home of the Republic. By the end of the Clone Wars, Tython remained mostly abandoned and faded largely into obscurity. Until now.